Live with CDP, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast live on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and Anchor FM. Now here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Live with CDP Sports Talk on this Thursday, September 29th, 2022, Season 4, Episode 36. Overall, episode 201 episodes since March 2020. Just to guys let you know, Live with CDP Sports Talk is sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. You guys can also now order their all-electric Silverados. Pre-orders are now available. Check out barrycullen.com to pre-order the all-electric Silverado, and also their newest selections of GM vehicles, both brand new and used. And give them a call at 519-824-0210. Again, Live with CDP Sports Talk is sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet here in the Guelph Auto Mall as well. I'm looking forward to my show tonight. I have a couple of guests on one's from Arizona, the one's from California. Chris Spinelli, who's an actor and actress. An actor and a stand-up comedian. Me bad there. And Lauren Kirshner, who's a stand-up comedian as well. So both of them were nice enough to give me some time to come on tonight, especially with Thursday night football on with the Cincinnati Bengals and Miami Dolphins game about to start in 20 minutes. So guys, just bear with me. And I'm also getting the use of this virtual background I'm using as well. So give me 1 second, guys, and I'm going to bring on Lauren Kirshner and Chris Spinelli. Hello, Lauren. Hi, Chris. How you doing?
You're hilarious. I was like, oh my God, he's doing this sports podcast, and I got football on in the background but he's in Canada. He doesn't know. And also, I am from Arizona, but I do live in California.
Okay. Right, and I was originally raised in Denver, Colorado, and I'm more of a native in California now, but that's why I'm a Broncos fan too. If we want to talk sports, so
we're all California.
Exactly now. It's a blender.
How's the weather there at now in both those states?
Well, we're both in California.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we had another heat wave. I mean, I know Lauren lives a little closer to the ocean. I'm more inland.
It's 72 Fahrenheit. I can't convert that like the Canadians.
Okay. Yeah. The metric system or no metric? It's metric something.
You guys do degrees. We do Celsius. And right now, I don't think you guys can see this. It's with my virtual background. I have this virtual background I'm working on, by the way.
That's Dodger Stadium, right? It looks like I saw Dodger. Yes. Perfect.
To honor my guest, Chris, I put
Thank you.
Stadium. Next time Lauren comes on, I will have to do something for Lauren.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't mind baseball. I mean, I would prefer the Dallas Cowboys, but no one.
There you go. Dallas Cowboy background next time you're on, Lauren.
And I'm a Philadelphia Eagle fan, so fan and a Cowboys fan.
That's a battle.
You guys are good rivals. Yeah, the NFC East is going to be tough.
Definitely. So we get a frost warning here tonight. So we've gone from a hot, humid summer here to now fall has really come here.
Wow.
What does that mean Celsius? What is that Celsius?
11 Celsius is about 57 degrees Fahrenheit. So
I freeze in that now. I was brought up in Colorado, but if it gets down to 60 in LA and I'm freezing, and we had another heat wave. It was a little cooler today. It was probably in the 80s Fahrenheit.
In the 90s. I had to go to Montebello. It was in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
That's balmy.
Yeah, and so we were going through another heat wave, and I think they're saying it's supposed to start cooling down again, though.
Yeah,
to be more fall-like.
I wear shorts until it drops down below 50. That's why I'm Canadian.
No, next week. Yeah. It's still in the 80s next week.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
balmy. We still had some 90s earlier this week.
We get what we call an Indian summer. So
yes, we usually do. Yeah.
Yeah, even in September. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we usually do, but for some reason, fall has come early this year in Ontario.
Oh. Okay.
Well,
I'll say
that's why we're
with the frost alert. Yeah,
definitely. Hey, at least we haven't had a snow alert yet.
not yet.
yeah, that's good. I'd probably get paralyzed if I went in the frost right now. I'm not used to the cold anymore.
Yeah. Hey, I was going to ask you guys, do you guys know anybody that's in Florida right now with that hurricane? That's just awful.
Oh,
Jay's on his way. We have a bunch of comedians that are there. Yeah. So
yeah, they've been hunkering down, and yeah, it's been really major. Yeah.
Work friends. Yeah. They're all texting me pictures of trees that are falling and,
Yeah.
I think
it's funny. All the states, we do know a lot of people.
But I feel like there's been worse hurricanes in the past. Like, I feel like kind of sideswiped them, but still damage. Yeah.
And the amazing thing about it too is that I was reading this morning that it might become a hurricane again, like it died down, but then it might get more strength again. I mean,
they said in a couple days it's going to strengthen back up to a hurricane. So
wow.
I was going to say, I know
hurricanes.
I know
that's why we live here with the earthquakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the 80 and the 90 degrees.
Yeah, and I get stuck with the cold and the snow. But you know what? To be honest, I think I'd rather have cold and snow than the hurricanes. Earthquakes I've never dealt with. I know parts of Western Canada in British Columbia, they get the odd earthquake being on the west coast. But here in Ontario, we're fairly lucky. We don't get very many or any of often.
Sure.
Yeah, because the West Coast, like up above Seattle, gets a lot of hurricanes. So that would be British Columbia and all that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Like the fall. Yeah. And I mean, when I was growing up in outside of Denver, I mean, there'd be tornado warnings. So I'd have to deal with tornadoes. Luckily, nothing ever happened near our place. But, there was times where we had to go down in the basement. And then out here, it's like, you're dealing with earthquakes, but usually they don't do a lot of damage, but it seems like tornadoes and hurricanes, they do a lot of damage,
Yes.
Obviously major earthquakes do, but most of the time they're just little tremors and stuff.
Yeah, we do get tornadoes in Ontario, but where I live seems to luck out. So I'm very lucky where I live because I don't have to deal with earthquakes or tornadoes or forest fires.
Snow.
Yeah. Just that frost.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, like I said, I dated a girl named Winter once. She was very frosty.
Chris, where's your neck? Where's your neck? I can't see your neck.
My neck?
I know.
Oh, his neck. My neck is here. Oh, that's right. There's two Chris's. I like that, though, Chris. That I like that background, though.
The virtual background. I just got to keep looking at the camera. If I look straight at the camera, then it's not a problem. So I just something to add to my podcast show. And this is episode number 201.
You have two backgrounds. You have the one behind you, and then you have the baseball.
Yes. I try to honor my guest. So,
and I just want to say it's an honor to be on episode 201. I know you had episode 200 the other day.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, but on Thursday I'll be 201. I'll be part of 201.
That's not what you said last night, Chris Spinelli.
I'm sorry. That's I'm sorry. Yeah, the true self comes out.
Did not say.
Well, if I'm lucky enough to make it to 300, I'll make sure I book you in for 300.
Awesome.
Hopefully by 300, I'll be on a radio station too.
Awesome. Definitely.
301. We want to be on 300.
Yeah, make it even all the time. We want to keep the universe even.
Okay.
We have to.
And I since you see me last, I've had an opening intro done, a closing intro done, and I have a GM sponsor here now on my show as well.
That's right.
I know. I saw that your sponsor was a Chevrolet dealership. I'm in the car business for the job that pays me. And I was just at a Chevrolet dealership yesterday and a Chevrolet dealership today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
They run a good show. Sorry about my bangs. But,
oh, you're fine. At least you have here. I'm losing mine, so that's where I wear the ball cap.
Well, that's great. You have a sponsor and everything. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Really cool. Yeah.
It's not a lot of money, but it's a big name sponsor here, and hopefully it'll be the first of many other. And I'm just keep working away at this.
Good job.
Awesome. Good job. Cool.
Thank you. And this podcast has really changed my life because I've met a lot of people I wouldn't have met, and I've made a lot of connections and a lot of friendships like you guys. And now I really want to come out on an airplane and see you guys out in California.
Yeah.
Remember you saying you've never been on an airplane before?
No, not in 50 years. No.
Wow.
I understand that because my whole life is based on travel. I travel the
Yeah.
world. I just can't imagine.
Oh, I'm like the movie, like John Candy and Steve Martin. Trains, planes, trains. Yeah, except no airplanes.
Are you scared of flying?
I was before 9/11, and then after 9/11, I said never again. I'll even think about it. But I think the airline travel now is probably safer now than it was 20 years ago or before 9/11. So
of course, yeah.
I am being 50 now. It's like half my life's over. So it's like, you know what? If it's my time now, maybe at least it'll be worth it going to California.
You want to go see the world now. At least venture out a little bit.
Listen, I've been to the Caribbean, I've been to Hawaii, I've been to Europe. I can't imagine life without travel. Like I just can't.
Yeah.
I've
definitely want to start doing it.
Yeah. I've done a lot of traveling on bus trips and driving to the States and stuff like that. But to be honest, like for me to go to California would take me probably a good week, a full 7-day week, unless they bring bring a fake family with me, like We're the Millers movie.
Oh yeah.
rent a
travel
RV.
like that. Yeah.
There's a guy that lives in my complex right here, and he just drove. He wants to like retire and be a nomad. So he just took his dog and drove up to Lake Placid. Is that close?
Oh yeah.
How far are you from Lake Placid, Chris?
I would say that's in upstate New York. So I would say it would probably be about 8 to 9 hour drive.
Okay.
So around 8 to 9 hours.
Yeah, he just drove from here across country to there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he's like making a vacation out of just driving back here. So he's stopping in Texas, Tennessee.
Okay. Wow.
So, yeah.
Going all around. Yeah.
You do get to see more of the world when you're driving around and stuff. But then if you're going with people, you want to make sure you go with people that you like and get along with.
Exactly.
That's very important.
It is. And make sure you pack beef jerky.
Yeah. Don't go with people you don't like.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's not good. No, that's a long drive if you
with
do.
A puppy because puppies do what you want them to do.
Meatball's making an appearance.
Hi.
Hello, Meatball. How are you?
You have 3 guests now.
Hi, Meatball.
my cat Latte is sleeping right now. She's a Siamese cat, and I named her Latte.
I love that name.
Oh, there's a dog here. There's a dog here named Latte.
Oh, that's a cool name. I like that name.
She's very spoiled, and she gets what she wants, and so she likes
cats or cats. Yeah, we have a couple of them.
Definitely, I'll have to send you guys a picture of Latte after this podcast is
over.
Cool. So, but how are you guys both doing right now?
Good. Just
Yeah, I mean, thanks for watching Comedians at Dennys and stuff. We appreciate we've been building up a good fan base for that, so we're excited the same people come and watch that show. It's every Wednesday night on our Facebook Live page for your viewers. Comedians at Dennys. Lauren and I are on it, and we also are on it with Jay Hewitt, who
we have a party that
we mentioned. Exactly. We mentioned Jay's been in Florida. He was doing a comedy tour there, but of course he evacuated.
No, he's in South Carolina right now.
Exactly right.
I heard this hurricane's heading up to South Carolina too.
It's going north, right? Exactly, to where he should be. He last night on the show, he said that. He was expecting just rain and everything, but who knows if it gets more strength again? It could be. Maybe he'll have to leave there too.
Right.
We'll find out.
I think a hurricane just follows Jay.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
just like storm clouds follow me.
Yeah.
So, see, you guys make me funnier than I am. When you guys aren't on, I'm not funny at all. But when you guys come on, I'm like totally.
We elevate the funniness.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good. That's good. Hey, we're doing something right, Lauren. We're doing something right.
I just got a weather alert. House disappears in Fort Myers. Hold on.
Yes.
Wow.
I get these.
I saw it on CNN.
Oh, okay.
And apparently there's sharks swimming around the streets of Fort Myers.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
Because it's just so
hurricane aimed at South Carolina. But
there you go.
All these ads, so I can't deal with ads.
So it is going towards South Carolina. Yeah, I mean, it's not that far.
Well, hopefully
Aimed
Joe
at
will be
South
okay.
Carolina.
Yeah. Okay.
And I guess it is hurricane season. Usually, in August and September. I guess in those states.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, hey, I was going to
it's
ask
crazy.
you.
Yes.
Since you brought up comedians at Denny, who actually came up with the idea to have a weekly Zoom show called that? Whose idea was it?
Oh yeah.
Well, it didn't start off as a Zoom show. How it started off, and Chris kind of came late to the party. So
I did. I've been doing this show now for at least 3 years, 4 years now. But you guys were on what, at least a couple years before me?
Yeah, 1 or 2 years before. It just started off. So we all used to do a workshop. Way back in the day. I don't know how long you were in it, Chris. I was in it for like 10 years. Jay was in it.
Yeah, I did it for like 5 or 6 years, I think. Yeah,
and we just kind of like outgrew it. Like for me, I felt like I needed to move on, and I felt like I developed more after leaving because it was like a safety blanket being in there, and I
felt the same way. Yeah,
and I developed enough skills that I could go out on my own and like branch out, and I feel like I developed more. Like I was not scared anymore, you know?
And it shed some more like this group. It was more like almost like a theater group, but for stand-up comedians. So we would have a workshop every week, and then there'd be a performance. And sometimes the comedians would stay. You would do a show maybe maybe once or twice a month, I guess. But sometimes you'd just be there for the workshop, or sometimes you would stay and do a show as well. But it was like more like a theater setting, not like a stand-up club where we had a microphone. And it was good. I mean, we were able to hone our skills and develop characters.
We call it a workshop versus classes because it was character development. When you take classes, you like sign up for 8 classes and you're done. This is ongoing character development, and everyone stays as long as they want. I stayed for 10 years.
Yeah,
but like they manage people like whatever. So we all like had left this workshop and said, you know what? We all know each other's characters. We know each other. Let's help write for each other. So we would meet at Dennys before it was a comedy show. And so one day, it was when Facebook Live became a thing. I just turned on my phone and I go, let's just talk to people. And like all these people started tuning in. And we didn't have a Comedians at Dennys page then because why? It was just my personal page. I'm like, oh my God, you guys, we have like hundreds of people watching.
Yeah.
Like maybe we should just make this a thing. And so it just kind of sparked this idea.
Right.
So then we created a Comedians at Dennys page and went live from the Comedians at Dennys page and just started promoting it that way. And we developed on other social media. And so it just kind of grew by mistake.
Right.
Yeah.
So then when I first joined, we would do the show every 2 weeks and we'd be at Dennys. But then when the pandemic
Zoom started because of COVID.
Then the pandemic hit, and then that's when we had to do the Zoom. So, we'd probably been at Dennys maybe 4 times, 5 times in the past 2 years. I mean, we love going there because it's we love being at Dennys. But then, like what Lauren was saying, now it's become more of a Zoom thing. But it helps too because we can have guests all over the country, so that helps out too.
I think we need to, now that COVID is, and I don't want to say over because I don't want people getting mad, but
exactly.
I think it's controllable enough where
I
think we can just really get back to Dennys.
Because we enjoy that, and we eat their food. We get to see what they have. They've revamped their menu a few times now, but we
pretend that we love their food because
exactly.
We would love an endorsement like you have Chevrolets.
Yeah, we would say sponsored by Dennys. Dennys by Dennys.
I was going to say, if I was a part of your group, I'd say to Dennys, all I want instead of a sponsorship is your blueberry pancakes. I do love their blueberry pancakes and their orange juice.
I'm always like on a diet, but Chris Spinelli can eat whatever he wants. So
I'm a human trash can.
I order for Chris.
Yeah.
He orders everything.
So that's the tradition. Yes, Lauren will order for me, and so that's where it kind of becomes a little cooking show or food show as well. We get to critique the food a little bit.
We found a new Dennys that we like, and I think that's where we should. It's really nice Dennys. Not that close by any means, but
no, I know. But it was wide open. There's a lot of space, so we like that.
Kind of hip. It was like kind of hip, and like they had
they serve alcohol there too.
Yeah, on one side of the Dennys, they have like wine and beer. It's like
at a Dennys.
So Jay was expanding. Go there on a Friday night one time and just like get some drinks. And I'm like, you obviously have no social life.
I know. Maybe it's good for the show, but I don't know about the social life. I think we should.
Like Jay
We'll
has
go to
nothing
a regular bar.
Jay has something to do on a Friday night. Yeah, let's go to Dennys.
But,
No.
I was at Denny's hanging out, drinking their wine and beer. They're
So they do serve alcohol at
Woodbridge.
Denny's? So they do?
Not all of them.
Only this one that we found.
This one that we found.
Okay.
That we
Yeah.
Wow. You lucked
that
out.
will make us funny too. The
Yeah.
alcohol.
Hey, now that they've loosened the restrictions here, you guys now are free to come to Canada again. You know, none of this Arrive Canada app stuff.
That's USA.
No more
people.
masks.
We weren't allowed
Yes.
to go to Canada before?
Well, yeah, the last 2 years, if you didn't have your vaccination or have our Arrive Canada app and you didn't fill it out before you come, they would deny you. So they've
Wow.
loosened the restrictions now. It's like the last 2 years.
Canada, fine. We
Yes.
Yeah.
fine here. We don't need to go there with all your rules.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna go. I just want your maple syrup.
Oh,
maybe,
can I just show you?
Yes.
I'm gonna show you what I have sitting here on my piano. Hold on.
Okay.
hopefully it's good.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, you're gonna love this. So,
You're gonna love it.
I realize that these are two different Chris's.
Hey, we
So-
should have 3 on next time. 3 or 4.
Yeah, we
Look.
should make it more
Look.
confusing. Oh, look at
Wow.
that! Oh, that looks good.
Wow.
So, right before, I have to tell you, this is the weirdest story and the weirdest timing. This is maple
Right.
syrup from Canada.
Okay.
So right before COVID, we didn't know things were going to shut down. And I met this girl at this pizza place. And she's like, I'm having a really hard time getting back into my country. But we became friends. And she's like, I want to give you this because I give these to people that I like and I meet. And this was 3 years ago.
Okay.
So fast forward today, like 2 hours ago, I'm at the pizza place and she's there.
Wow.
And she's just gotten back from Canada and I didn't even know it was her. And she started talking to me and I go, oh, I've met this girl from Canada before. And she gave me this maple syrup. She goes, that was me.
Oh,
And this is it. And that was just today at lunchtime.
well,
And
that's
she
fine. And you're on this show tonight. Now, telling you, that's oh wow.
That's
how
great.
weird
The
is
odds.
that?
Now,
The
where is
odds.
that syrup made? What province and city is that syrup made
All
in?
right.
I'm curious.
Hold on. It's really small print. So I have to turn on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make them small, so you need glasses.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Reading, yeah, the eyes.
You know, once you hit 50, that's it for your eyesight.
It goes
Montreal.
away.
Yes.
4026 Dame Street, East Montreal.
East Montreal.
Montreal, Quebec. Bonjour. Merci
The
beaucoup.
French.
The
I-
Maple,
The super.
the Maple Treat Corporation.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's 2 years old,
That's
so that
good.
should be aged good for you now.
Well, I just thought the bottle was
Can't-
pretty. I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot break this open. I have a piano over here and it's sitting on my
Okay.
piano. It's just like because I have a lot of frames and
Ah.
pictures.
Yeah. I was gonna say bring it to Denny's and I can get pancakes and I'll eat it with that.
No, I think this is open. Like look at the bottle. Like it's shaped like a
It is
maple.
nice.
Oh,
That's
it's
really
nice.
cool.
That's nice.
It's a nice collectible.
And then
Right?
you're on a Canadian podcast show tonight, too.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell her that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris,
Really
do they
cool.
have like syrup places like how we have wineries, but it's
Yes,
like syrup?
yes.
Do they? That's
Yes,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Oh, yes.
What's that like? You can go up there and taste them, or just get a whole bunch of different types of syrups.
They take them right out of the trees, I guess, and people
Wow.
pay good money for it. So
Wow.
and we
That's
do
pretty
have
good.
Niagara Falls, Ontario, which is our wine capital. It's like
Oh,
Napa.
okay.
It's like Napa in
Oh,
California.
out here.
So
Okay.
Niagara Falls, Ontario is called wine country. So when people go
Okay.
to Niagara Falls, they always like to have their wine.
Oh.
I've been in Niagara Falls.
Look at the view.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Canadian side is nicer than the American side. Honestly, it is.
Mhm.
Niagara Falls, Ontario, is sort of like it's not quite as good as Vegas, but it's that like sort of like our Vegas here.
right.
Wow. Okay.
I've only been to the New York side.
That's good to
New
know.
York? Yeah, so
Yeah.
you guys will have to definitely make
Upper
a road
state
trip.
New York.
Make a road trip to Canada or Ontario.
Yeah. Right.
Definitely. So-
Road trip, plane trip.
Flight.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it would. Yeah, you guys are only 3,658
Yeah.
miles away from me.
I don't think it ain't no road
That's not
trip.
that far. I don't know if I want to drive. Exactly.
Between
I have to
Jay and
change my
Chris,
oil.
we'll never get past
At least
the-
twice.
Exactly. Yeah.
At least twice.
We remember we got to enjoy who we're with in the car that long, right? Is what we're saying.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm not
Some-
driving because I'm not a
Yeah.
like driving.
Yeah,
Beef jerky, plenty of beef jerky.
definitely. So, hey, I gotta ask you guys. You brought this up last night again. Just quickly, thoughts on Marty Ross, the comedian, passed away, and I found out from your social media page, Chris, and I was lucky to have Marty on my podcast a year ago, and I just shared it again.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, actually, I'd love to dig the show up we had of him. We should look back, Lauren, on our Facebook page, and you know, it was probably like what, a year and a half ago when we had him. I know it was a little.
I would say like about a year ago, but he
around the same time.
He just finished like America's Got Talent. He had a good name. You know, Marty was going to be 82 this November, and he, you know, retired from the garment district in New York, and he came out to California, and he just pursued comedy, and his whole shtick was about being old. All his jokes were just about being old. He was like wrinkled rebel. He was the old geezer, you know, this and that. And he didn't regret a moment in his life. And he really, like, not only was his act old, he acted old. Like, he's like, can't hear. He, you know, didn't know. Listen, it was really, it wasn't that much acting.
Yeah. And what was funny, when he was a guest on our show, and I don't know if you can maybe relate to this, Chris, but he did act like the old guy, but he had a lot of enthusiasm, and he was just really energetic, you know, and excited about what he's doing. So that's the nice vibe I got from him, and that's what I won't forget about him.
Heart of Gold. I was friends with him. You know, he and I used to talk on the phone, and you know, he was closer to my dad. He was actually older than my dad. I lost my dad too young, but he was both of them were from New York, and like we connected that way. And like, I mean, he's just like, if he's your friend, he's your friend. And he had a lot of love, a lot of, you know, but the funny, like, I think we talked about this on the show last night. We would talk every year. His birthday is November 25th, and I dated this guy with the same birthday. He was not a good guy. He was married. He cheated and all this stuff. But I said, Marty, I love you and happy birthday. And he goes, but I know you hate this day.
That's right.
So I always
that's cute.
His birthday, and we would talk on his birthday and just I mean, listen, he had a passion and he lived it to the end. And if you look at the page, you could see two of his daughters tribute to him.
Yeah.
And, listen, his mom is still 101, and I think we all thought Marty's not going anywhere. Marty's not going anywhere. Like he's only 80. He's got 25 years left.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
And then definitely go to YouTube and see a set that he did on America's Got Talent. You know, he had those judges, you know, on his side for sure, and it was really cool to see that happen. And it's neat to see success happen before your eyes, and he had a really good set, you know, for that, and that's what really got him going too.
Yeah,
really neat.
He kind of inspired me too, because I think he switched careers when he was in his early 60s into comedy, and I'm trying to switch careers into radio at 50. And his story was kind of inspirational for me, because it's just basically age is just a number, and just because you're at a certain age doesn't mean you can't do stuff. And what he was doing was outstanding. Doing what he was doing, I don't think I would have the courage to do that at his age, but it's just the story was so great, and
nice
enough. I just think when you're tired and you just do what you want to do. He was just doing what he wanted to do, and he had the time to do it. It's kind of like Jay right now. So Jay retired, and he's what he's doing. You know, like
he's just doing.
Not worry about a job or money coming in. You can do whatever you want. You know.
Right. And Chris, the good thing with you're really getting out there as well. I mean, you're doing a lot of things. You do camera work, right? And sometimes you do broadcasting. Like I see your posts and like some of the minor league teams and things like that, but you're getting experience that way too. And like you said, you know, you would stand up, and whether it's broadcasting, it kind of does cross over in the sense that you are out there and you're talking to people and you're putting yourself out there. It's kind of like a performance as well. So, you know, you're on the right track as well. I think we all are. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I've been thinking, because I'm 50 as well. So
really?
I'm happy to, really? I turned it this year. So
You guys are old.
Yeah, we are, aren't we? We're much older than Lauren and Jay, I can tell you. But but
older than Jay.
At this point,
nobody's
in my
older
life,
than Jay.
Actually, Jay's my biological dad. I'm sorry, that just came out. I spilled the beans. We did a DNA test the other day, but anyway. What I was saying is that you get to that certain age, and I'm just happy that yes, I'm doing what I love to do too, or at least I have access to do it at times, so with the stand-up or the shows or the acting. So I'm thankful too. But that's all we can do, and thanks to Marty, we can live off of that too. A guy that was much older than us.
At the same time, I started when Marty started
yeah, right.
Wow. We weren't the same age, but we started at the same time. And just to see his character, he had, his old man shtick and, his character. So it's like, he could take that anywhere. And he did.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Actually took it to the grave. Poor little thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss him.
Yeah.
We hear of people, unfortunately, dying every day. I don't know if it's more in the comedy world, but just, as you get older. And after the show last night,
just never know.
My friend from college texted me saying this guy we went to college with just passed away. I'm like, I cannot.
It's like we're
anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he passed away yesterday too. Like, I'm just.
I know, and I'm sorry. I know people around our age that pass away or young, and it's just like, wow, you really.
Well, if it's not us, it's our parents. Like, I lost both my parents, and it's like, just
right.
I lost my dad when I was 13, 2 days before Christmas, back in
Oh.
'85. Yeah, so
Wow.
even to this day, Christmas is kind of a sad time for me, even if it's been like 37 years later.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I had to.
It doesn't go away. Yeah.
I had to grow. I had to grow up. I had to grow up early, and it changed my life. And nobody is. And basically, life is short, and nobody is promised tomorrow. And that's
exactly.
I might be making a little less money right now what I'm doing, but I'm actually been happier now than I have been in the last 10, 15 years. And this is something I have a passion for. And I love talking to people like you guys and all my guests on here. And this is what I want to do my last 10, 15, 20 years on this planet or whatever time I have.
Yeah. But
it's working out. Like, it seems like it's like panning out to be something good.
Yeah, well, I'm still a work in progress. That's what I say.
You're working hard. We're all working hard. Yeah,
it's not really working hard when it's something you have a passion for.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, that's quite the cliche.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I come up with a good one. So
yeah, there you go.
Okay, so the next question I wanted to ask you, Chris. I'll get Lauren to go first. I'll let Lauren go because she's a special.
I'm not working on any films.
You're both specials. What's your latest comedy act or comedy shows that you're working on?
I'm not. I have. So I've been on a little hiatus since April because I bought a condo and I've been like kind of working on that. And I'll just give you like the rundown. I've been doing comedy for 25 years. I have opened for the best of them. I have performed with the best of them. I have performed in New York, Florida, Georgia, Washington, Arizona, Texas, Ireland. And I think during COVID, I had to do a reevaluation based on how people are getting very offended these days. And there's a lot of things that.
Oh, yes.
So I headlined a show about 4 months ago. I was up in North Hollywood at Felix's, the Comedy Chateau.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes, I remember that. So,
and when you do like a 10-minute set or whatever, the rhythm, where the setup is, the laughs, and where the rhythm is, right? So all of a sudden, people are getting offended, and instead of all the laughs, I'd be like, really? Seriously? Oh my God. And I mean, a lot of it's racial. A lot of it, I don't want to get too political here, but, as a white woman in a black club, I'm just going to say that. There's a lot of things you can't say that they can say. And And I'm like, do I change my, like, I don't have a dirty act. I'm not, nothing like that. It's just the judgments and the how offended people are right now. And you can see it all over the comedy world when people, and believe me, I'm no Dave Chappelle, but like people were, like attacking him, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like in the process of going, do I reinvent myself or do I wait? I don't know what to do. So I'm kind of
it's a big decision. Yeah,
it's really changed from my observation. It's just our whole world society now is very politically correct, and everybody's very sensitive, and even myself,
it's divided. Yeah, everything.
Yes, and even on my podcast, I have to watch what I say, or when I'm with my Rogers TV, which I do camera work with as well. There's certain stuff you have to watch what you say now. It's like, and even the hockey team now, they used to play certain songs in the arena at the games, and they've had to change it because it's not politically correct anymore. It's just,
oh wow.
I just think. I just think it's gone a little bit overboard with the PC.
Well,
that's my
opinion. And even with the sports, like with our the Cleveland Indians, now they're the
Guardians,
Guardians, and then the Washington Football Club, where they used to be the Redskins, now they're the Commanders. So I mean, definitely our society is going.
First of all, the Commanders, really.
Yeah, Commanders, I guess. I don't know.
Yes,
but that's how it is, Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'll talk. I'd like to talk to you, Chris, about your podcast because you just basically do it on this platform, right? StreamYard.
I use StreamYard, and then it's broadcast live on Facebook, on my Twitter page, on my YouTube channel, and then I download it to my 8 audio platforms: Apple, Google, Spotify, Anchor FM, and etc. And that.
I'll have to get some info for you because so as a side note to the stage, I have a podcast that it used to be a book concept, but I'm starting a podcast. I'm just trying to find a venue on how to get it out. I have
StreamYard. Zoom is good. Don't get me wrong. Zoom is good, but StreamYard, look at my presentation here. This is I first did my first podcast 2.5 years ago on Instagram Live. And it was just basic. It was just basic. Nothing. And now
you were
like
a stick figure.
Not quite, but now I can put my corporate sponsorship on here, down on the graphics. I can bring up to 10 people on here. There's no time limit, and I can show video clips too. If I wanted to show a video clip of you and Lauren tonight, I could do that as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So my concept is you're so blank, and you can fill in the word. Why aren't you married? You're so pretty. Why aren't you married? You're so smart. Why aren't you married? You're so successful. Why aren't you married? So the whole concept is, why does marriage define you? You can be smart and not married. You can be pretty and not married. You can. So my goal is to get a bunch of single comedians on that are very successful. Karen Runtowski, one of the most famous people that I know, is wonderfully talented and successful and beautiful. Like, everyone loves her. Who cares if you're married or not? Like, why?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Right.
Like, why are you defined by your marital status?
Social taboo now. All my friends, or they used to be my friends, they're all married now. I'm not against it. They're happy. But now I never hear from them. And it's like, and then they're like, oh, you should be married. I'm like, I'm married to my podcast. I'm married to my camera work. Hey, you can be. It's a personal choice. But it's a social taboo. Oh, if you're 50 years old, what's wrong with you? You're not married.
Which there is nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong.
Eventually, I could get guys on. Like, you're so, like, whatever. Like, why does marriage define you? Because I think our parents' generation built that into us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And before,
So that's my concept.
True. Okay.
And like I said, being single is not a crime. And right now, I'm having a lot of fun doing my podcast, my camera work. I do live interviews now at sporting events or wrestling events, and
that's right. I see that. You post that.
I'm having a lot of fun and stuff like that. And I have a lot of female friends as well. It's just right now, it's like. Like I said, you can live your life single as well. But Lauren, if you're going to do a podcast, I would recommend StreamYard. Zoom's okay too, but StreamYard, and you can if I wanted to pay more money, I'm paying right now $25 a month for StreamYard. If you want to put on more platforms, then you got to pay a little bit more money. But for this to go on 3 live platforms is $25 a month. But it just depends.
I already pay for Zoom.
Do you?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Zoom's good too, but for me, and the main thing is if you want to do it audio, then you want to get on Anchor FM, because Anchor FM will basically get you on all the other platforms as well.
Okay.
So if I can help, if I can give you any advice, Lauren, feel free to ask.
I will. Okay. That's my next thing. I just
awesome.
Back in the day, I wanted to write a book and do a one-woman show. Not that I can't, but I think the podcast is the way to go.
Yeah,
and I think
that's
this
cool.
is
Especially these days, right?
And I think this is the future of broadcasting. Honestly, everybody's going
it's
to
not
live
going
on
away.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's amazing. You guys are 3,600 miles away, and I can see you guys and hear you.
Here
clearly.
we are.
Yeah,
and know, and as in the acting world too. It's totally changed because you when an actor would go and audition, they'd go to the casting office and you wait in the lobby, blah blah. Now we do self tapes. I haven't gone on a real audition. Well, right before the pandemic hit, so what have been 3 years ago now, 2 or 3 years ago, and but even before the pandemic, it was already weaning out where you would just do self tapes at home, and it's kind of cool because. You can do it on your own time, and then if you mess up, you can do another take. So but in terms of, I don't think it's going away, even with COVID, kind of not as bad as it was, but
for sure.
Yeah, the technology.
And I recently just had a demo reel made up of all my work as well, and I've also got a business card made up as well, which has a bar has a scan. Thing on it. So if somebody takes their camera and it'll scan them to my website.
You scan it.
Website and all my social media work as well.
That's good. Yeah. It's amazing. The technology is amazing.
Okay, you guys okay? Yeah. I think my Wi-Fi connection. So absolutely. Everybody talks about the negatives of social media and stuff, but there's a lot of positives as well. And that's what I'm trying to do is use the tools. I'm even doing sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to interject. Yeah, I mean, I love social media because with Twitter and Instagram, and now I know all 3 of us are on TikTok. You become your own publicist in a way. It's like we can put whatever content we want out there. We can advertise and do this. That's what I love about the social media stuff. You know?
And I'm on Twitter Spaces, and Twitter's now got a Twitter Spaces. So I have a live audio weekly show for a Canadian Football League team every week, where I have myself and a co-host on Twitter Spaces, and we have basically our own radio. We basically have our own radio show from our houses, talking about the CFL and the Toronto Argonauts, and I do a post-game show for the Philadelphia Eagles and stuff. Dallas sucks, by the way, and it's just giving me all these platforms to change careers. I had to throw that in.
I'm so glad.
By the way, Dallas is. They've won 2 out of 3, and if you watched the game last week, I think you might change your mind.
And I think Lauren, we were talking about last night. The Cowboys, man, they were really physical against the Giants the other night on both sides of the ball. They were just smash mouth. I mean, they were throwing them up in the air. All I have
to see is October 16th. Cowboys.
You got that on your calendar. You're
on the calendar. Forget Christmas. Forget Christmas.
Nah.
It makes it exciting, though. I can tell you that the NFL Dallas, is still early in the season.
Being in Dallas is better than Christmas or going on vacation.
Those are real rivals. Yeah, the Cowboys and the Eagles. Oh man,
we're gonna have to get Lauren out of that Dallas. We're gonna. You gotta be You gotta be a Rams fan or a Chargers fan.
I'm not saying I don't like the LA teams.
Yeah.
No. I'm just saying I got my affiliation.
And for me, I do like the Rams, and they don't really interfere with the Broncos being a different. The Chargers, I have a problem with. I mean, it's great that LA has 2 football teams, but Chargers and the Broncos, they're big rivals in the same division. So I've never liked the Chargers.
We didn't have a team for 20 years.
We didn't, and that's the thing with LA and stuff. I mean, you get people that move in from all over the place. So you have you go around, there's a Dolphins bar, there's an Eagles bar, there anything,
bar,
it's really like that. Now, I think that the Rams winning the Super Bowl helped that fan base out a lot. And the Rams were more traditional LA team, of course. But So the SoFi Stadium. I mean that place is packed every week. But you do still have that element. Like if the Chargers are playing the Chiefs or something, there are more Chiefs fans in the stands. But the Chargers did have 1 year in LA when they started, and they were in San Diego for such a long time. So I think they have a little bit more of an uphill to get that LA fan base. But if you keep winning, that helps too. We'll see.
I was going to say, I really would like to see the Chargers back in San Diego, but obviously they didn't have the
stadium
because they made me lose my Survivor pool last week.
Yeah. Oh, you see, that's a good reason. Yeah, to be mad. Yeah,
I'm mad at them.
And what's funny too is I watched football at home on Sunday. I didn't go out or anything. And so with the two LA teams, I wanted to really see the Buccaneers and the Packers game, but it was blacked out because I think both the Rams and the Chargers were playing, so I couldn't watch that game. But anyway, that's what
you didn't miss much. It was an ugly
That's true.
game.
It was low score,
14-12. It was
sloppy.
Punt. Yeah.
Well, and the Monday night game, the Broncos, of course, I watched, or it was Sunday night. I'm sorry, Sunday night when they played the Niners. That was like a dumpster fire. That was one of the worst games I've ever seen. Like both teams were horrible. I mean, I'm glad the Broncos won, but that was one of the ugliest games I've ever seen.
Absolutely. Now, have either one of you guys been to SoFi Stadium yet?
I haven't yet.
No?
I've driven by it. It looks
What's it
fantastic.
I mean, I was there like a little while ago. It was a preseason game, but super cool. And from where I live by, Marina Del Rey, and I could just take the train from Santa Monica in, so I don't need to drive there.
That's so cool when you take the public transport. Yeah. And I don't know, Chris, if you know it, but also the stadium, they had to build it low into the ground because of LAX. The airport's right there. So for the flight path, I think the football field, I forget how they actually had to dig it into the ground basically. So it's below ground, I guess, or
ground level. Wow.
Ground level. Exactly. And then they built the stadium up. So when you're driving by, it's not like this massive thing that's really high. I mean, it looks sleek. It's almost like it's like a small building, but of course go inside. I mean, it's huge. I mean, but really cool design, really unique.
Yeah. It's not like Jerryland at AT&T Stadium where if you punt the ball, it hits the scoreboard.
Yes, for the big giant scoreboard. Yeah, I guess they learned that.
I had to take another cheap shot at that one. I couldn't help myself.
That's the biggest TV in the world.
Yeah, with SoFi, they actually designed it so the scoreboard doesn't get hit. So they learned, right? They learned their lesson.
Well, when the TV's that big, it's kind of like.
I was gonna say, hey, Chris, are you guys still good for a few more minutes, a few more questions?
Sure. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because I know you got the Thursday night game on right now.
I know we do. Oh, wait.
Actually, I'm trying to find it because it's on Amazon TV.
Yes, it is.
Prime, yeah. Or TSN in Canada.
Okay.
What is it?
In Canada, it's on TSN, which is our ESPN. Like I can watch it on Amazon Prime, like you guys, but TSN has the rights, so I can watch it on TV.
Yeah, we have to. So, Chris, what's your prediction for tonight's game? Then did you have one?
Yeah, Miami 31, Cincinnati 28.
Okay.
It's not showing up on my thing.
I am actually picking. I think I'm just going with Cincinnati because they're at home. That's my
Miami for my pool.
Yeah. Well, then hopefully Miami will win then.
No, if I picked them, it means they won't win.
Okay, well that's why I said Cincinnati. I'm just kidding. We'll see. Anyway,
I picked. I do football pool. I picked Miami, but they also get 3.5 points.
Yeah, okay. I think it's gonna come down to a field goal at the end of the game.
Like
I just
like
I just don't like I just don't like Cincinnati's offensive line. Joe Burrow is not going to last a year with that offensive line. He's been sacked 15. Yeah, he got sacked. And when you when you lose to the Dallas Cowboys, that's like hitting rock bottom.
Another pinch. I'm so glad I'm not like a Commanders fan or anything like that. Or
wait, who do we play? We play Washington Commanders at 10 o'clock.
You guys should
whoever they are.
We're favored 3.5 points.
Man, I shouldn't complain. I used to complain about these 1 o'clock kickoffs here, being tired and all that. You guys on the West Coast, 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh man, I can't.
Yeah, it starts right off.
I actually love that.
You like 10 o'clock in the morning kickoffs?
Oh, I love it too.
Yeah, because I can't imagine starting to watch a game at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I love it. 1 o'clock to midnight. 1 o'clock
Yeah.
to midnight
Stays
here.
up that late.
Yeah, I do. 12 hours of football every Sunday.
To me, out here, since it starts at 10 a.m., the morning games are, the little warm up, and then you get the momentum going in the afternoon, and then you just right on out. I love it.
I was in New York 2 weekends ago, and it was like, oh my God, football's
The
so
the 3 hour difference. Yeah. The East Coast. You feel it.
It's not as bad as Britain. I think overseas in Britain, they're 5 hours ahead of us and 8 hours ahead of you guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I even had a guest on from Australia. They're like 14 hours ahead of us. I had to do my podcast.
17 hours ahead of us.
Okay, yeah. I had to do one podcast at 3:30 in the morning, and my guest's like, "Are you awake? Are you awake?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm awake." Yeah, that was a challenge doing a podcast from Australia, but I managed to do it 10,000 miles away.
That's cool. Who did you interview there?
Her name's Lindy Jane. Lindy Jane.
Oh, okay.
She's actually a female ventriloquist, and my first guest was Christine Barger, who was in the American Pie movies, and she's actually a ventriloquist as well. She was my very first guest back in March of 2020.
Oh, that's
cool. She's from Los Angeles.
Okay.
Cool.
So I seem to have an LA connection on here.
Yeah, you do.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, definitely. So,
yes.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Chris. Just wanted to ask you quickly, what are the latest films you're working on right now?
Yeah, right now we're in post production on a lot of movies. We haven't shot anything in at least more than 2 months now. But last 2 weeks ago, this movie, the Red Tide Massacre, a horror movie, premiered at the Burbank International Film Festival, and I had a role in that. I played Joe the cameraman, and that movie got into the Tarzana Film Festival, which is coming up in October. So that was one of the latest movies I worked on, and actually, and John A. Russo directed it. And for you horror fans out there, he was the co-creator of Night of the Living Dead. And another horror movie, since it's almost Halloween season, that I just finished working on is called Wicked Game. That should be coming on streaming at Redbox, Tubi, and Amazon Prime. Hopefully, obviously within the next week or two to get ready for Halloween. Rich Mallory wrote and directed that, a guy that we work with a lot. I had a role in it. I play Lucas, and I don't want to give any spoilers away, but then the main characters are Saint Hart is an actress, and she was one of the lead characters, and Craigis Daniel was the other lead. And so definitely check that out. It's Wicked Game. And then the third movie I want to share with you is American Western. And that is still, it should almost be out of post-production as well. But we actually we shot a Western. We shot it back in March, actually probably late February, early March. And Nino Cimino, who we've worked with before, I probably brought him up, Chris, when he interviewed me last year. He wrote the movie and he stars in it. And I watched a rough cut of it, and it's just a lot of fun. And we shot a Western. We're so excited about that. So check that out as well when that comes out. So those are the ones that we're rolling out soon. But we're in post-production at least on another 5 or 6 or other movies that hopefully we'll keep rolling out until the end of the year.
I got to ask you this.
Yeah.
How long does it take to make a movie? And do you have to move around to city, or do you guys shoot at one site for the most part?
Oh, those are both great questions. So, in terms of the shooting, we it's Gregory Hatanaka is the owner of our production company, and he directs most of our movies. Cineridge Entertainment is the production company, and then Cinema Epoch is our distribution company. So the neat thing is that we make these movies, and that's how they get distributed right away. It's all kind of under one umbrella. But we these low budget movies that we make, we've molded to like a formula almost. So we write the scripts based on the locations we shoot at. And there's probably like 4 or 5 studios in LA that we use. We never have to go very far. We never go out of state or anything like that. We shoot at Envision It Studios a lot. That's in Burbank. And, they have like a bar set, an apartment set, and things like that. So we write our scripts around those types of sets. obviously the Western, we shot at 2 different Western towns, and they were up in Lancaster and Palmdale, which is north of Los Angeles. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
Just a little bit north.
Just a little bit north by like an hour or so, depending where you're driving from. And so that was fun because I was obviously a lot of outdoor location. And then basically we've gotten so tight. Like we've been making a lot of these movies for the past few years now that we can shoot a movie within, on average, 4 days, 2 to 4 days sometimes. And sometimes we're shooting 2 movies at once. So it's just easier because we already have the locations. The actors will be in both movies, and we just it gets a little hectic, but we pull it off. We shoot with 2 cameras a lot to get the coverage faster, and it's just amazing. And a lot of our movies, since they're for the streaming platforms, they're just about a little over an hour long, maybe an hour and 10 minutes, somewhere in there. And the scripts are probably usually, if you're thinking like a normal Hollywood script is maybe like between 90 and 110 pages long. Our scripts are maybe like 65, 70 pages, maybe 80 at the most. So we're shooting, shorter scripts. So that helps out a lot, to shoot these things really quickly. And we're just trying to put content out there that people want to watch.
How is the movie industry recovering? The comedy and movie industry recovered from the pandemic? Has it really recovered? Or is it still...
Well, in terms,
I think it's recovered.
Yeah, I think so too. Comedy clubs are full again, and then in terms of the Hollywood production stuff with movies, production is back almost to normal. I mean, I think you see, location shooting. In terms of auditions and breakdowns, I mean, everything is being casted, and all these great shows now. You get these great shows on, whether it's Netflix or Amazon. The content is really good, and so I think we're back at full strength. And for comedy too, like what Lauren just said, also.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
I had a sister's friend that her brother ran a DVD, one of these places that had DVDs in it. The industry has really changed a lot. Everything is now pretty well live on stream. Like even with I have a TV called Bell 5, and I can get movies or anything I want right online, like on my TV set. I don't have to buy DVDs anymore.
It's amazing. There's so
I don't
much
even have a
there.
DVD player anymore. Do you?
Yeah.
I don't even use mine anymore, really.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. It's crazy.
No, it's just amazing, the technology and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For all this. And then, Lauren, you were saying last night you got into the Dahmer show or the Netflix series, right?
God.
And so Lauren was talking about that, but that's what I'm saying. The content is just amazing,
And you don't even need TV anymore. Like, it's just crazy. Like, you can find anything on Netflix, Hulu.
Yeah. You get a
Disney.
smart TV and you just download all the apps and everything. And
or you can watch my podcast every night of the week.
There you go. Yeah, on everything. Yeah.
I've got a year's worth of podcasts. Not quite. I'm working on my way. I do have some short videos on here as well, so I'm up to about 330 video content on my YouTube channel.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, it's Bengals are winning 3-7.
Okay.
7-3, you mean?
7-3 Bengals. Okay.
I said because I'm rooting for Miami. I guess we're losing 3-7.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I had to ask you this, guys. Just 2 more questions. This is a sports one. The 2022 Dodgers team, is this the best team you've ever seen, Chris? And I'm not sure, Lauren, if you follow baseball as well, but do you see any team in the National League giving the Dodgers a challenge in the postseason until the World Series?
Okay, that's definitely a Chris question.
Oh, those are all fit. Yeah.
So we have California Pizza Kitchen here in where I live, and every time the Dodgers win, they send you an email saying you get a free 7-inch pizza. And I've been getting a lot of emails lately with a lot of available
pizza. Record-wise, obviously the Dodgers, they got their 107th win last night. Obviously, the best Dodger team ever. I mean, but I think we can say the 88 Dodger team because they were such underdogs. When they played the Mets in the NLCS and of course the A's in the 88 World Series. So I guess it's one of those things that if the Dodgers don't win it all, then it's usually a disappointment, right? So I think what we're seeing in terms of this year's Dodger team is amazing. There's no doubt about it. They've been just, they'll go on some losing streaks here and there, but other than that, they've been just they're just on fire, and they just their offense. Right, what was that?
Where do we stand right now?
The Dodgers, they won their division maybe about 2 weeks ago now. They're gonna basically play. I mean, they don't have to do the first round, obviously. They're gonna either play, I think, the divisional. Yeah, round. Would it be well? And in terms of, I guess it's still lining up, right?
Yeah.
In terms of, because I think honestly, St. Louis, if St. Louis gets out of the wild card, they always give the Dodgers a problem, I think. And then of course, if the Dodgers meet the Mets in the NLCS, I mean, that could be, I think the Dodgers played them well overall, right? I have to look at the stats on that, or they were maybe about basically even. So I think the Mets and the Cardinals could give the Dodgers a problem for sure.
Definitely. Hey, did you see Aaron Judge's home run last night in Toronto? I
saw the highlight.
Two guys missed that ball. That cost those guys at least $500,000. You should have saw their faces right there. And next year, they're renovating the Rogers Center, so where that ball landed will be in seats. So those guys are going to be kicking themselves. Yeah.
Oh, they missed it by and then, but I think he get the ball? Did Aaron get the ball back? I think he gave it to his mom. I saw that.
Yeah. The ball ended up in the Blue Jays bullpen, and one of their pitchers actually brought it over. They brought it over to the Yankees bullpen, but if a fan had gotten they
would have said, "Give me the money." Yeah, I don't blame it, but I'd probably do the same.
So, anyways, Lauren, what's your expectations for the Dallas Cowboys? Since you love the Dallas Cowboys, gotta ask you this.
After watching last weekend, I kind of gave up on them because of Dak, and then I think Cooper did kind of amazing. I thought Dak looked pissed off, and I think there's I think we
QB thing. Yeah.
Have you been to a Cowboys game yet?
I had a plan to go, and then COVID happened, and so
but
I've been to the Cowboys Stadium,
AT&T Stadium.
Yeah,
definitely. Okay. Hey, I was gonna say I've kept you more than 45 minutes, Chris and Lauren. But I was going to say, I could talk to you guys for 2 or 3 hours.
I know, we're having a great time. But I know there's still a football game on. There's still a football game on it. Yeah. Are we still in the first quarter in that game? We can check it out now.
Probably the top of the second.
Second quarter.
Second. Okay, well, that's fine. Okay. Still playing football.
I finally just got it on my TV.
Well, Chris, it was great. Chris, thanks for having us. It was so much fun chatting with you. It goes by so fast.
We'll have to get Jay. We'll have to get Jay in because that'll be a record for me having 4.
That would be fun. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, where can my audience in Canada, for both of you, follow you guys? And Lauren, do you have a website as well?
Oh yeah,
I do. It's just laurenkirshner.com. You can see my name at the bottom of the screen. That's just follow it by a .com, which would be all my social media, which would be Instagram, Facebook. It's the same.
And for you, Chris?
And Twitter.
Yeah, and so mine's the same handle as well. It's at Chris Spinelli 2, the number 2, for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and then you can look me up on IMDb, the Internet Movie Database for all my credits, and I always put new photos up there and everything on everything I'm working on.
Definitely. What's Barry Cullen on the top of the screen?
That's the corporate sponsor.
Oh yeah, that's the logo. Yeah.
See, with StreamYard and with StreamYard, I could put their video commercials on here.
That's cool.
And their logo. Yeah.
Oh, there.
That'll make your sponsor happy. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna. You gotta follow me on TikTok. That's my big one right now.
Okay. Because
Lauren puts out really good TikToks.
Yeah, because I just had another video go viral. A wrestling video. Yeah.
Good.
So I'm going to have to look you up on TikTok because I can now go live there. I now have over 1,000 followers.
Yeah. I think TikTok is 4,000 now. That's great. TikTok is very dangerous. I mean, I'll go on there and I'll just be on that for a long time. It's just perfect. You get all this different content.
I go a couple weeks without going on it. And then when I do go on, I post a bunch. I watch a bunch.
Yeah.
Every night I was watching it and scrolled through this video and it says, we think you've been on TikTok a little too long. Maybe it's time to go to sleep.
Wow. I haven't gotten that message yet.
That's a warning.
Yeah. Wow. I
Yeah.
haven't gotten that yet.
The TikTok pitfall, man. I fall into it.
Oh, you've probably been on here. And it's actually a person. You think it's just a video and it's the
right.
Well,
that's funny.
We know that you enjoy TikTok, but sometimes you got to take a break and it might be time
do.
To
Sometimes I'm on it. I'm like, I guess I got to get ready for work. I'm a little late.
I'll probably get that from StreamYard. You're doing too many podcasts on StreamYard. It's time for you to take a break. And now when I'm about to wrap the show up, I got people watching. But when I got the show on, nobody watches. But then when it's done, people start popping on.
That's okay.
We'll watch the replay then. We'll watch the replay.
Well, definitely, yes. And if you guys give me about 15 minutes, I can download this to my audio platforms, and I will definitely send you guys a link. Lauren, are you on Twitter too or no?
I am. Same name.
Okay. I'll look you up
on my
Twitter.
platforms are the same. I'm on every platform. Yeah.
I am too, except for Snapchat. I got no interest in Snapchat.
Oh, I may even on Snapchat. I haven't done that in like a year.
Yeah, I haven't done it.
I
haven't done Snapchat either.
No, TikTok is as young as I'm gonna go. TikTok,
yeah, I know. I think I've had the same thought actually. I love
definitely. But Lauren, I'm gonna let you go because you got your dogs to look after. And Chris, I know you want to watch the game as badly as I do. So
let's see who wins.
Thank you guys both for coming on, and a definitely open invite to come on again along with Jay. That would be a great show.
Oh, we love that.
That would be a 2 hour. That would be a 2 hour show.
That'd be fun.
Thank you always for your support. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for watching our show. Yeah,
definitely. And I'll be over there in a couple days. I'm just kidding. I'm hoping.
Well, if you drive, you're gonna be here.
He just booked his first flight ever.
Yeah, if you drive, you're gonna be here in 2 months. So
that's true. That's true. I am getting a new vehicle, a Chevy Trailblazer.
Awesome.
That's
you better go to Barry Cullen.
Yeah. And he's 4-wheel drive. Get that 4-wheel drive.
And he was a hockey
snow
player.
And frost.
And Barry Cullen was a hockey player for the Toronto Maple Leafs back in the 60s.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Just like Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons here in Canada was a hockey player.
Franchise. Yeah.
They need a Tim Hortons in California.
They do.
No, we don't need any donuts.
We don't. I'd love to have a Tim Hortons.
We need more donuts.
Okay,
we'll see. Tell Barry I said hi and that I'm in the car business and I'm gonna look him up.
Okay, check out BarryCullen.com. There's a shameless plug right there. BarryCullen.com.
There you go.
And they got their all electric Silverados now ready to pre-order.
Awesome.
There you go.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Lauren and Chris. We'll talk to you soon.
See you, Lauren.
See you, Chris. Go Washington. Go Washington.
Right. Okay, yeah, go watch Commanders. Okay, bye.
Go Cowboys. Bye.
Okay.
Broncos.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Denver's okay. All right, thanks.
They don't hurt you.
Thanks,
See ya.
Thank you. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed my podcast tonight with Chris Spinelli and Lauren Kirshner as well. Again, you guys, you can check out Chris's Twitter page at Chris Spinelli 2, and you can check out his website on the internet website as well, right there. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap up this show, but I just want to let you guys know my next live with CDP Sports Talk, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet, 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall, will be Tuesday, October 4th at 4 p.m. My guest will be Jim Van Horn, the color analyst for the Ontario Hockey League's London Knights games on 980 News, alongside play-by-play announcer Mike Stubbs. So I hope you guys can tune into Season 4, Episode 37, this Tuesday, October 4th at 4 o'clock Eastern with Jim Van Horn as well. And guys, you can check out my website at beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme as well. And also, guys, just to let you know, Live with CDP podcast, the audio version is downloaded to Google Podcasts, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, Castbox, and LinkedIn as well. And you guys can also follow me on TikTok at Live with CDP Podcast and that. Anyways, guys, again, thank you to Chris Spinelli and Lauren Kirshner for coming on tonight. And give me about 15 minutes and I will download this to my audio platforms. And thank you to everybody watching live on my YouTube channel, on Facebook Live, and on Twitter as well. And again, Live with CDP Sports Talk is sponsored by by Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. And you can check out their website at barrycullen.com or call them at 519-824-0210. I hope everybody has a great night, and we'll see you guys Tuesday, October 4th at 4 o'clock with Jim Van Horn from 980 News and the color analyst for the Ontario Hockey League's London Knights. Have a great night, everybody, and great weekend, and we'll see you Tuesday, October 4th at 4 o'clock for another edition of Live with CDP podcast.